Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma. Let's begin with the top stories of the hour. Voting underway for the 27th Central Executive Committee of Nepal Bar Association. 36 voting centres set up across Kathmandu and other locations. Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair Ravi Lamichhane taken to Bhairahawa as Tulsipur High Court orders his detention in cooperative fraud case to be presented at court on Monday. U.S. stock market turmoil deepens as China hits back at tariffs announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, raising the likelihood of an extended trade war and damage to the global economy. And Lucknow Super Giants edge past Mumbai Indians in IPL thriller, clinch a 12-run victory over Mumbai Indians in a high-scoring contest at Lucknow. Voting is currently underway for the 27th Central Executive Committee of Nepal Bar Association. Senior advocates, Professor Dr. Bijay Prasad Mishra from the Broad Democratic Progressive Group and Raman Kumar Shrestha from the Professional Legal Practitioners Group are contesting for the position of President. Both Mishra and Shrestha are leading separate panels in the election. There are a total of 5 candidates vying for the presidency, 2 from organized groups and 3 independent candidates. However, main competition appears to be between Mishra and Shrestha. Other candidates for the post include Advocate Raju Kaiti, Advocate Ujjwal Khimire and Advocate Ashish Potal. For the position of General Secretary, Senior Advocate Kedar Prasad Koirala is contesting from Mishra's panel, while Advocate Yagyamani Nyopane is running from Shrestha's panel. There are 57 candidates contesting for 25 positions on the new Executive Committee. A total of 36 voting centres have been set up across Kathmandu and other locations. In Kathmandu, the voting centres are located at Supreme Court and the premises of Nepal Bar Association. Voting began at 8 a.m. today and will conclude at 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Rashtriya Swatantra Party Chair and former Managing Director of Gorkha Media Network, Ravi Lamichhane, who was arrested last night under the order of High Court Tulsipur Butwal Bench, will be presented before the court on Monday. This is in connection with the Supreme Court cooperative fraud case. After the court ordered him to be remanded in custody yesterday, the police arrested Lamichhane from Kathmandu and took him to Bhairahawa this morning. He will be kept in custody of District Police Office Rupandehi for today and tomorrow as well, as Saturday and Sunday are public holidays. As per legal procedure, the accused must be presented in court before being sent to jail. Police will hence keep him in custody for 2 days and present him before the court once it opens the day after tomorrow. Earlier, the High Court Tulsipur Butwal Bench had ordered Lamichhane to be remanded in custody, overturning the decision of Rupandehi District Court, which had previously released him on bail of 10 million rupees. On January 26, the Rupandehi District Court had ordered Lamichhane to post a bail, while another accused, Chabilal Joshi, had been sent to pre-trial detention on 11th of February. Since 2 people involved in the same nature of the case were treated differently, one granted bail and the other detained, the Office of the Government Attorney, in fact, appealed to the High Court, demanding Lamichhane also be kept in custody. Now, the government has clarified that those involved in the anarchy instigated in Tinkune, Kathmandu, aimed at overturning the Federal Democratic Republican system and the constitution will not be spared, regardless of their political ideology. Informing the State Affairs Committee of the Parliament about the March 28th incident, Home Minister Ramesh Lekhak stated that attempts to seize the people's system of governance would not be allowed to succeed. The Parliamentary Committee has directed for an impartial investigation into the incident and action against the perpetrators.
In the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, Home Minister Lekhak described the demonstration by pro-monarchy groups on March 28th as anarchy, not a protest. Lekhak pledged an impartial investigation into the incident and action against those involved in criminal activities in accordance with the law.
मानिसलाई बिना प्रमाण कुनै मानिसलाई बिना आपराधिक संलग्नता मुद्दा चलाइदैन दुख दिइदैन तर संलग्न भएका मानिसलाई कानुनबोधिम कारबाही गरिन्छ कुनै हालतले छोड्दैन.
In the violent activities carried out by the pro-monarchy groups in the Tinkune area on 28th of March, 2 people, including a journalist, were killed and media houses, individuals and public property were vandalized, looted and set on fire. In Friday's meeting of the State Affairs and Good Governance Committee, members of Parliament demanded a judicial inquiry committee, stating that the Home Minister's response was insufficient.
मैले माग गर्छु यो 15 गतेको घटनाको चाहिँ छानबिन आयोग बन्न पर्छ मलाई लाग्छ मेरो प्रमुख सचेतक यहाँ हुनुहुन्छ हाम्रो पार्टीको माग पनि हुन सक्छ र मेरो व्यक्तिगत रूपमा म सांसदको हिसाबले पनि यतिले मात्र पुग्दैन न्यायिक छानबिन समिति गठन हुनुपर्छ गठनको माग गर्छु मैले एउटा कुरा
Responding to the lawmakers' questions, Home Minister Lekhak said that a judicial committee was unnecessary as the cause, individuals involved and the criminal nature of the incident were already established. He stated that the state's investigative bodies would conduct investigations and the guilty would be punished. Lawmakers questioned why Durga Prasad, allegedly the commander of the protests, was not arrested despite driving a vehicle at security personnel. They also expressed suspicion about the government's lack of seriousness in addressing attacks on party offices and media houses.
Durga Prasadलाई नियन्त्रणमा लिएको हामीले भिडियो देखाएको छौं प्रहरीले घेरा हालेको भिडियो देखाएको छौं हिजो पनि टेलिभिजनबाट मैले त्यो हेरेको थिएँ त्यो नियन्त्रणमा लिइसकेपछि दुर्गा प्रसादलाई किन छाड्नु
Police leadership claimed that unnecessary force was not used, efforts were made to control the mob and vandalism, and there was no intervention at the assembly site. Lawmakers questioned Minister Lekhak why permission was granted for 2 protests on the same day and why precautions were not taken given the proximity of the airport, fuel depot, parliament building and media houses in the Tinkune area. The Home Minister responded that permission was granted after assurances from the organizers that there would be no unrest.
पेट्रोल पम्पदेखि मिडिया हाउसहरु पनि त्यसैमा छन् सिंगा मंगल 3 कुने जसो संवेदनशील ठाउँमा जो सुरक्षाको राडर भित्र पर्छ होला आज त्यो ठाउँमा हामीले कल्पना गरेका व्यक्तिहरुलाई तिमीले त्यहाँ कार्यक्रम गरेर भन्नु सुरक्षा निकायर हाम्रो कमी कमजोरी हो कि होइन.
Home Minister Lekhak stated that the pro-monarchy group deliberately pelted stones at the buildings of media houses, including Kantipur Television, a guardian of democracy. The State Affairs Committee directed the government to prevent protests in Tinkune and to provide necessary budget for resources for the police.
Chaite Dashai, celebrated on the 8th day of the bright fortnight of the month of Chaitra, is being observed today with worship and reverence of goddess Navadurga in households across the country. The festival is specially celebrated on the 8th and 9th days. The 8th day is marked as Chaite Dashai, while the 9th is observed as Ram Navami. Similar to the Dashai in autumn, Chaite Dashai also sees family gatherings and celebrations. In Kathmandu Valley, special worship is held at sacred shrines such as Kuheshwari, Jayabageshwari, Maiti Devi, Naksal Bhagwati, Bhadrakali, Shobha Bhagwati, Kalika Sthan, Bajra Yogini, Indrayani, Bijeshwari, Sundari Mai and Chamunda Devi, among others. Outside the valley, special rituals are performed at major shrines including Palanchok Bhagwati, Chandeshwari, Nala Bhagwati, Palchok Bhagwati, Saileshwari, Bageshwari, Gawa Mai, Manakamana and Kalika Devi, among others. Now, the Madhya provincial government has initiated infrastructure development for the establishment of a space and communication research center in Rajpira's Saptari. Chairperson of Janamat Party and leader of the Madhya provincial government, C.K. Raut, laid the foundation stone for the center. During the foundation laying ceremony, Raut stated that the regional space center aims to lead Nepal into the space age and benefit researchers and students by facilitating scientific exploration. In another context, Raut clarified that the United Democratic Front is not an electoral alliance, but rather a united front formed to protect the achievements of past struggles and to safeguard federalism. The provincial government Tourism Development Office allocated 18 million rupees for the construction of the centre's infrastructure. The contract was awarded to DS Engineering Construction Kathmandu for 11.7 million rupees. Tourism Development Office expects construction to be completed by early July 2025. Nepal Rashtra Bank's Governor Mahaprasad Adhikari has stated that investment-friendly interest rates have been maintained due to the bank's efforts. Reviewing his 5-year tenure, Governor Adhikari claimed that the economy did not face significant problems during COVID-19 pandemic due to sound policies and that the country has also been spared from the inflation caused by the Russia-Ukraine war. Adhikari is retiring this Sunday, as Sunday is a public holiday. He formally bade farewell to Nepal Rashtra Bank yesterday. The Council of Ministers appointed Adhikari for a 5-year term on 6th of April 2020. Governor Adhikari argued that some of the rules implemented during his tenure may have disadvantaged certain groups in the short term. He also added it will ultimately benefit the country in the long run.
एकल ग्राहक सम्बन्धी नयाँ व्यवस्था, चालू पूँजी कर्जा मार्गदर्शन जस्ता केही महत्त्वपूर्ण व्यवस्थाहरू वित्तीय प्रणालीको दीर्घकालीन हितमा समर्पित व्यवस्थाहरू हुन्। उक्त व्यवस्थाहरू कतिपय व्यक्ति, समुदाय र क्षेत्रलाई अल्पकालीन असहजता महसुस भए पनि यी व्यवस्थाहरूबाट दीर्घकालीन रूपमा वित्तीय प्रणाली र समग्र अर्थतन्त्रको लागि अत्यावश्यक र महत्त्वपूर्ण सुधारका रूपमा रहनेछन्।
In the Nepalese year 2078, the then Finance Minister Janardhan Sharma formed an investigation committee against the governor, leading to his suspension. Governor Adhikari described it during his farewell as blatant interference in the central bank's autonomy. He also mentioned that the Supreme Court protected the autonomy of the central bank at that time. And in this context, in our Public Voice segment, we've asked in several provinces, how was the tenure of Governor of Nepal Rashtra Bank, Mahaprasad Adhikari? Let's take a look at what they had to say.
राष्ट्र बैंकको नेतृत्वबाट त्यति समयानुकूल भएर राष्ट्रलाई चाहिँ आर्थिक रूपमा बलियो बनाउन सकेको पाइएन।
राष्ट्रिय आमूल परिवर्तन भन्ने चाहिँ त्यस्तो केही पनि देखिएन।
मुलुकको अर्थलाई चाहिँ जुन उकास्न पर्ने जुन अवस्था थियो, जुन नीति आउनु पर्ने थियो, त्यो नीति आउन सकेन।
2 नम्बरी धन्दा चाहिँ फस्टाइरहेको छ। तपाई हामीले प्रश्न देखेका छौं। अब विकासको कुरा गर्ने हो भने विकास कस्तो भएको छ भन्दाखेरि कच्चा विकास भएको छ।
यिनी जति बेला आएदेखि नै विवादमा परेको अवस्था र पछिल्लो समय उनले आफूले जे तरिकाबाट जानु पर्थ्यो राष्ट्रको तपाईको आर्थिक नीतिमा त्यो खालको गएको भेटिएको छैन।
नराम्रो पनि भन्नुपर्ने केही छैन, राम्रो भनेर त्यस्तै व्याख्या गर्नुपर्ने पनि केही छ जस्तो लाग्यो।
अर्थतन्त्र डामाडोल रह्यो र तपाईको चाहिँ युवा स्वरोजगारको चाहिँ कुरा पनि आएन र युवाहरू वैदेशिक बाध्य हुँदै गए।
साना उद्योगहरुमा कल कारखानामा लगानी गर्नुपर्ने थियो, त्यति लगानी हुन सकिराखेको छैन।
अर्थतन्त्र जसरी चलायमान हुनुपर्ने हो त्यो चाहिँ देखिएको छैन।
समग्रमा हेर्दाखेरि सन्तोषजनक चाहिँ हामीले पाएनौं।
विश्व संकटग्रस्त भइरहेको अवस्थामा पनि नेपाललाई एक तवरले आर्थिक सूचकमा सुरक्षित बनाउन उनको भूमिका सकारात्मक रहेकोले सफल भएको मैले चाहिँ मान्दछु।
उहाँको पालामा अर्थतन्त्र चुनौतीपूर्ण नै भएको थियो, किनभने कोरोना महामारी उहाँकै पालामा थियो र राष्ट्र बैंकलाई अघि बढाउन उहाँले गर्नुभएको पछिको काम कर्तव्य निष्ठावान नै छ।
बैंकहरुमा पुँजी जम्मा भइरहेको अवस्था छ भने त्यसको लगानी प्रवर्धन हुन सकिरहेको स्थिति छैन।
उहाँमाथि जुन आरोपहरू खत्म गर्यो, गलत गर्यो, सबै कुरा बिगार्यो भनेर भनिए तापनि पछिल्लो समय आएर हेर्दाखेरि यो लगभग परिवेशलाई हेर्दाखेरि सकेसम्मको लयमा ल्याउन खोजेको चाहिँ देखिन्छ।
Former Managing Director of Nepal Electricity Authority, Kulman Khesing, has alleged government of dismissing him because of his attempt to recover outstanding payments from dedicated and trunk line users. He also stated that even though he is leaving the authority, he is ready to take on any responsibility for the development of the energy sector in the future. Following Supreme Court's refusal to issue an interim order for his reinstatement, Khesing held a press conference yesterday, clarifying that he followed the law, not individual orders. He accused the state of misusing its full power to remove him while he was working on tasks mandated by Nepal's laws.
प्राधिकरण जस्तो सार्वजनिक निकायको कार्यकारी निर्देशकको रूपमा मैले सार्वजनिक कोषको उक्त बक्यौता रकम असुल गर्ने बाटो लिए। त्यसैले मन्त्री र मन्त्री स्तरीय निर्णयबाट स्पष्टीकरण सोध्ने, थकाउने, गलाउने प्रयास भइरहेका थिए, तर बक्यौता रकम नउठाउने गरी आएका आग्रह, प्रभाव, दबावलाई मेरो जिम्मेवारी, निष्ठा र कर्तव्यले स्वीकार गर्न सकेन।
Gising also alleged that responsible state officials abused even the parliament by verbally attacking the MD of the authority. He stated that while working at the authority, he was distracted from his main duties by being asked for details and clarifications on meaningless issues up to 6 times. He also said that when he tried to cut off power to industries to recover dues on 4 occasions, obstacles were created by higher authorities.
नेपालको कानुनले निर्दिष्ट गरेको काममा खटिएको एक कर्मचारीमाथि राज्यको सम्पूर्ण शक्ति कसरी खनिएको थियो, कसको स्वार्थ र सेवामा ममाथि जाई लागेको थियो भन्ने विषयमा नेपाली जनता आफै प्रष्ट हुनुहुन्छ। प्राधिकरणको कार्यकारी निर्देशकलाई गाली गर्न राज्यका जिम्मेवार व्यक्तिहरूले नै सार्वभौम संसदको रोस्टम कसरी सदुपयोग र दुरुपयोग गरे नेपाली जनता आफैले प्रत्यक्षदर्शी हुनुहुन्छ।
Gising accused those in leadership positions in the government of carrying out a planned attack to demoralize the authority. He said that instead of utilizing the right to appeal to the authority's review committee and the regulatory commission, if dissatisfied with tariffs, the tendency to go to power centers must end. It is time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on Kulman Gising organizing a press conference after court's refusal to issue an interim order for his reinstatement? Your options are A, trusting the court, B, result of political maneuvering, and C, wait and watch. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Stock market turmoil deepened on Friday as China hit back at tariffs announced by U.S. President Donald Trump, raising the likelihood of an extended trade war and damage to the global economy. All 3 major stock indexes in the U.S. plunged more than 5%, with the S&P 500 dropping almost 6%, capping the worst week for the U.S. stock market since the pandemic. In the UK, the FTSE 100 plunged almost 5%, its steepest fall in 5 years, while Asian markets also dropped and exchanges in Germany and France faced similar declines. Trump, who has vowed to remake the global trade order, dismissed concerns about the market shock, noting that the U.S. labor market is strong. The global stock market has lost trillions in value since Trump announced sweeping new 10% import taxes on goods from every country, with products from dozens of countries, including key trading partners such as China, the European Union and Vietnam, facing far higher rates. Analysts say the move, some of which are due to go into effect as soon as Saturday, amount to biggest tax increase in the U.S. since 1968. They expect the measures to lead to a contraction in trade and have warned they could drive many countries into an economic recession. China responded to Trump by hitting U.S. goods with import taxes of 34%, curbing exports of key minerals and adding American firms to its blacklist, describing Trump's actions as bullying and a violation of international trade rules. Now, a Russian missile attack killed at least 18 people, including 9 children, in a residential area of the Ukrainian city of Kryvyi Rih. Russia's defense ministry has said it had targeted a military gathering there. The Ukrainian military denounced the Russian statement as misinformation. The strike in President Volodymyr Zelensky's hometown was one of Moscow's deadliest this year in the conflict launched with the Kremlin's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. At least 50 people were wounded, adding that the figure was growing. More than 30 people, including a 3-month-old baby, were in hospital. That is all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.